And welcome back to the Kiosk Presents. Joining me today is Jim Morelli. He's a registered pharmacist, and he's talking today about how we can prevent from getting sick when the stressful holiday months. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jim.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
How can we protect our immune systems? I know a lot of us get stressed out during these months. We're working longer. We have stuff with family. We're getting all this stuff done, trying to cram it into the time. And there's less daylight around, so we feel like we have less time to do everything in. How can we keep ourselves and our immune system safe?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is certainly the time of year when people start to be concerned about colds and flu, because that's where we get the major impact on the immune system. Last week, the CDC declared it National Influenza Vaccination Week because they wanted to remind everybody that, look, even though you've been hearing about flu vaccinations for a long time, there's still plenty of time to get one, and you need to get one because we get the peak of cold and flu season from January to March. I think the good news is that the flu vaccination is available in so many places, so many retail outlets. You can go to CVS Pharmacy, for example, no appointment needed. Most insurance will cover it, and they'll also throw in a 20% shopping discount for you if you get it there. So there's incentives to get it, and we should get it because that's the main way to protect yourself from getting the flu. As far as other ways, obviously hand washing, very important, hand sanitizing, very important, and trying to get enough sleep. And again, there's a lot going against us this time of year with everything that's going on, but we've got to try to keep ourselves somewhat healthy.
All right. So it's definitely not too late to get a flu shot.
No, absolutely not. We need about 2 weeks in order for our antibodies to kick in after you get the vaccination, so you need a little bit of time. But you get a little bit of immunity right when you get the flu shot, and then that will protect you through the season. So it's definitely not too late. And think about it, the kids are getting out of school now, families are getting together. We get the flu because we're all closer together, we're all inside, it's spread through droplets, it's spread on surfaces. So now is an ideal time to get it. And by the way, if in fact you do come down with flu-like symptoms, for example, you've got fever, chills, body aches, plus the usual respiratory problems, and you think you have the flu, a good idea to go to the doctor or the emergency department and ask them to do a diagnostic test for the flu, because it's important to know for sure whether you have it. The problem with some of the tests they're doing these days, though, is that they're not definitive. They don't tell you exactly that you have the flu. They kind of have to be interpreted. Lab technician will take a swab from the nasal passage, and the test result will kind of look like the flu, and so they'll say, yeah, it looks like you have the flu. But now we have something that can definitely tell us whether or not you have the flu. You can have it done in a doctor's office. It gives lab quality results, and that would be the BD Veritor system. Again, nasal swab, not a painful test by any means. And this will tell you in 10 minutes, do you have the flu or not? And why is that important? Well, let's say you have pneumonia, not the flu. You got to get antibiotics. And if you don't have pneumonia, you don't need antibiotics. We don't want to use medicine we don't need. We don't want to spend money on medicine we don't need. So this is a very important public health advance. And I would highly recommend, if you got flu symptoms and you're going to the doctor, ask them to test you before they make a conclusion about it.
That's fantastic. What about foods or diet changes that might help you stay away from getting sick?
Yeah, well, our immune systems are really dependent on rest and food and exercise to some extent as well. You want to get 2 to 4 servings of fruits a day, 3 to 5 of vegetables. That's from the USDA, and that can be a lot, especially in the wintertime when maybe the fruit and vegetables aren't looking so hot. But there is a convenient way to get it, and that is through juice. And in fact, we've got this Old Orchard brand here of fruit and veggie blends. This is a frozen concentrate. What's great about it is it contains things like sweet potatoes, beets, but it also contains these in fruit juice. And in one glass, you will get a full serving of fruit and a full serving of vegetables. And it's like $1.50 for one of these, and you find them in the frozen food section. You can find them at Walmart.
Fantastic. Any other final parting tips for helping people at home stay healthy throughout the holidays?
Yeah, well, I think one important tip is, look, if you're sick, you're not a hero if you go to work. Stay home. These are the days when we can work from home from our computers. You're not going to be anybody's hero. In fact, everybody will be very upset with you if you come to work sick. And yet, a recent survey found 90% of people who said they know they're sick still go to work. And we really don't want to do that because you're not helping anybody, least of all yourself. You should be home getting the rest you need or working from home lightly.
Well, fantastic advice. Thank you so much, Jim, for joining us today here on the Kiosk Presents. Hopefully all of our viewers stay healthy, and keep in mind that there are things out there they can do to keep themselves healthy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stephen. Take care.